Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. We're hitting the road for the radio show to present our fabulous content to you. I'm your host, Sebastian Mandaka.
And I'm your host, Sabrina Giles. We're so excited to see you guys and share our amazing segments from the show, like AZ High School highlights, and we can't forget about the SaberCat Report.
Be sure to tune in from 8 to 10 on KDUS 1060 AM Phoenix.
Or come see us live and tune in because you never know what guests will stop by on the Varsity Sports Show.
We'll see you Saturday morning.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
This is Carefree, Arizona Mayor John Crane. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show hosted by Carefree's favorite son, Vince DeLisio, who was just awarded Carefree's Man of the Year and given the key to the city. Oops, I just perjured myself.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is made possible by Friends of the Varsity Media Foundation,
a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization.
You are listening
to the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
On AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
Still the home of youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. And now,
welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, joined on another beautiful Saturday morning, joined by my co-hosts this morning, Sebastian Mandaka and Sabrina Giles. And we are out at Marcos Deniza High School in Tempe for the Indigenous Football Combine. And we've got a fun-filled show for you this morning, as we do every Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us and starting your day off on a Saturday morning with us. As we say, you miss a minute, you miss a lot. For the next 2 hours, we're going to take you through an incredible journey with some incredible guests and content, as we do every single Saturday. And today we've got a special blend for you that of both pre-recorded content that our hard-working team puts together throughout the week, but we've got some incredible live guests today. And first of all, let me welcome our co-host today, starting with Sebastian Mandaka. Sebastian, how are you, sir?
You know, always waking up, working with the Varsity Sports Show. It's a blessing to be here. And, you know, my fourth time on the radio show. So
Four times?
It is
wow, how'd you
time.
swing that?
I have no idea. I guess
okay.
I must be good, right?
Yeah.
But
okay.
That's just too much conceited in there. But as always, Vince, you know, thank you. And I'm very blessed to be here. And to be here specifically is actually my first on-the-road radio show. You know, the last 3 times was in studio. So actually being out here with the community and being able to host and find different people to say hello and introduce myself with them.
All right, and then we are also joined by. I have to laugh. It's not you. I was just the name when I was doing your last name when I was thinking of the example. We'll get to our guest, our very important guest today, if she doesn't kill me first. Sabrina Giles. Sabrina, how are you?
I'm great. Honestly, Vince, if I can make you laugh, I love making people smile and people laugh. So I
can't even look at you. I'm going to laugh.
It started off really good, but
yeah.
I'm doing great this morning. You know, it's always a great opportunity, you know, to wake up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, but to do such an amazing, fun thing like the radio show. And unlike Sebastian, I've did it 3 times, but the majority of my times have been on the road. So
Wow.
we kind of got
Nice
that,
blend.
that little blend going on right there.
Okay. So joining us, without further ado, our very special guest. She is the CEO of the Phoenix Indian Center. Her name is Jolana Begay-Kropa. Jolana, how are you? Can I call you by your first name, or do I have to call you Madam CEO? Or?
No,
okay.
Jolana is fine.
Jolana is fine. Okay.
And good morning to all of you.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for having me.
Good morning.
Well, thank you. So I'm going to start this off. Then I'm going to turn it over to our amazing team. But tell us a little bit about this event and how many years it's been going. What the participation's been like.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you're right. It's such a beautiful morning, Saturday morning. This is when you love to live in Arizona compared to the Midwest or wherever else where it's super cold.
The Pacific Northwest.
So I'm an enrolled member with the Navajo Nation. I consider myself an urban native. So I've been in the Phoenix Valley for over 20 years. Living in a place that is not my ancestral homeland, but I make a living with my children and my husband. And I run a center that's super important because we are organized to support urban American Indian families just like myself. We find various different ways to provide support services that are much needed. This event is one in particular that is truly unique. It's designed to support urban American Indian high school students. It is part of our youth development program, which is one of our core service programs at the Phoenix Indian Center. That program is designed to get our young people to think about life after high school. When we think about urban American Indians or American Indians in general, we have the highest dropout rates. And so in order to change that, in order to create opportunities so that our youth are successful, our program creates multiple different events, whether it be mentorship, whether it be college and career readiness programming, whether it be helping with preparing for enrollment into a higher institution. Various different ways the team organizes and tries to support. This one is an event that it's in its second year, so we have some really great, knowledgeable, passionate youth development specialists who come in and provide ideas. Let's try this. We've never had anything like this built into our program, but it wasn't until one of our specialists, Nick, joined our team. So Nick Fulgham, he's got young kiddos, and he's very motivated around finding avenues to support youth, and he was actually the one, him and a couple of the colleagues there brought up the idea of what if we highlight our football students, because there truly there's some talent out there, but we also find ways to help support the parents who know that their children are talented but may not necessarily know what the next steps are, or how can I support them to be successful in this this line of this industry, this sport. So last year was our first year that we held a football combine. It was over at a partner school, Cesar Chavez. It was really successful. Our first time out, we brought athletes from California, New Mexico, Navajo Nation, which is about 4 or 5 hours away. It was really unique. We had a lot of great turnout. College coaches, recruiters, volunteers all came, and they're really in support of our youth. So this is the second time we're having it, and we've implemented the volleyball component into it. So we're growing and elevating and really looking at ways of trying to find space to recognize talent that's out there. We have a parent track going, so there are parents that want to know how else can I support my youth? What can I do? Health and wellness is always a crucial component. So just trying to find ways to support our athletes really is the center behind why this event exists.
That's amazing. Wow. You brought up the fact that you've been here for 20 years now, and you one up me because I just turned 20 last week, and so as soon as I was born, you started becoming more aware around here in Arizona, and that brings me up like the specific question. The behind motives for creating this program, and what do you want to achieve in the future coming up?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great question. When you think about American Indians, right, many times people think that they live on their ancestral homelands on their reservation. But really, there are about 78% of American Indians that live off. in major metropolitan cities like Phoenix. In Arizona, just to give you perspective, there's about a little under 300,000 American Indians. Here in the Valley, a little under 100,000, about 79, 80,000 Native people that live here from throughout the United States, not just the 22 federally recognized tribes. And so they're in major districts like this. They're not interfacing with another Native on a daily basis. That's how I grew up personally. So we want to create an opportunity for them to still identify and be proud of who they are, be proud of their ancestral heritage, but also we recognize that we are the underrepresented. We are always the afterthought, and so our program is designed to what else can we do? What other sporting event can we do to support our athletes? What other areas of opportunity can we promote to highlight and to recognize that there's some unique talent out there, and if done right, if supported, they really truly can be successful.
Yeah, and so you talked about it a little bit. Only second year, you guys have had, the football showcase, adding volleyball, but it's still, last year was an amazing turnout. And this year is probably projected as well to be an even more amazing turnout. What does it mean to you for these, small programs that you're, just starting up, you're already getting in the foundation of it? What does it mean for them to be thriving for you already so early on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. We are the oldest Indian center in the country. We were established 76 years ago. And since that time, we've always been at the forefront of meeting the needs of the community, whatever that might be. And that obviously has changed over the last 76 years. And so this showcase is really a platform to highlight our Indigenous student athletes. It's really an opportunity to allow us as a community to highlight what they're capable of, but also to open up the doors of what else is out there. I mean, there's so many other sports, clubs, areas of interest that our youth are engaged in, right? And how do we highlight that? How do we allow them to utilize this talent that they have to become leaders for others to follow, like Kent here? So there's my 8-year-old. He's excited to watch. He came last year, and he was like, oh, I saw all of those athletes, and they have long hair. They resonate with him because he has long hair, right? And so he's excited to see that again. That's what this is about. It's about allowing them to see, you know what, I'm a leader. There are people looking up to me, and that generation is going to continue. So that's really the idea. Again, just so excited. Thank you for the support. Thank you for allowing this to happen and to be here and to celebrate with us.
Has he tried to participate in the combine last year? Is he trying to do it this year?
Oh yeah, he was like, well, I can't wait to get to high school. But he's excited about, wow, there's Native athletes. Because at his school, he's probably one of 5 Native people. So for him to see all these athletes out here, it brings him this sort of joy and this hope, like, wow, like I'm going to be there one day. So that's exciting to see. And there are many others you'll see walking around that have that same thought process. And before you know it, they're going to be in high school.
Joanna, they put us next to the weigh station here. I have $20 in my pocket if you get on that scale.
No, don't make me do it.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we are so privileged and honored to be able to participate in this event, to help promote it, and it's an amazing event. There's a lot of kids here. Mm-hmm. Wow.
We have about 200 enrolled or registered.
Okay.
And there are always some that show up day of that, they're on the spot trying to register. So there's clearly an interest. We want to elevate this and continue to do this. So we're excited.
And they can't register on the spot?
I don't think they can register because we only have enough of the materials and stuff up to 200 athletes, but clearly there's an interest, and hey, you never know, a lot of these people are volunteers and could allow for an opportunity to let them join in. I can't say for sure, but it's nice to see such a great turnout.
All right, Jolana Begay Kropa, CEO of the Phoenix Indian Center, thanks so much for allowing us out again here at the Indigenous Football Combine, live from Marcos Denisa High School. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And just so you guys know, don't call, or I wasn't like shaming anybody. She's thin as a rail. I was just teasing her because about the scale thing. So guys, don't call the show and complain about that. Anyway, guys, what do we have coming up next?
Oh boy, don't we have a great schedule today, Vince? We have, I believe, 5 live guests, which is honestly a great feature to love to have. A lot of baseball to talk about with Sabrina, with you, Vince, and obviously coming right up on the 8:15 mark, we have a great friend within Desert Mountain head coach baseball, Ryan Dyer. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a great Saturday morning. We'll see you after the break.
Go Varsity.
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hey everyone, I'm Caleb Wiley. I'm from the LA area, and I study sports journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU. From being the sports editor at my high school to being a broadcast reporter for Cronkite News, I like to say I bring a nice versatility to the show. Whether it's in front of the camera or behind the scenes, can't wait to bring you guys high school sports content on the Varsity Sports Show. See you guys there.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind.
Hi, my name is Jacob Seaver with the Varsity Sports Show, and I am currently a sophomore at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School for Journalism and Mass Communication. I am excited to be on the mic this year and looking forward to bringing you some of the best high school and JUCO content that the world has to offer. Definitely looking forward to seeing you and for you to hear me on the Varsity Sports Show.
Listener rewards for you with the KDUS 1060 app. Download today to hear all of the national and local shows you love. That's the KDUS 1060 app.
It's Desert Mountain Wolves baseball with Coach Ryan Dyer on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hello and welcome back to this fine Saturday morning. We're here at the Fall Ball Showcase at Marco Deniza High School for some fun. But now joining me is none other than the head coach for Desert Mountain Baseball, Ryan Dyer. Hey, Coach, how are you doing today?
Good, guys. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Great.
We're just gonna go right into this, Coach. Obviously the last time we saw you, it was a great victory with your baseball team. So now we're just gonna ask you the questions. Now the season had its ups and its downs, Coach. What can you give us some takeaways about the season now that we're heading into the final stretch?
We have 3 games to go. We need to win 1 to make the playoffs, and we're just all in for that goal right now to beat one of our next 3 opponents, who are all very, very good teams. We got Horizon Tuesday, then we finished with Notre Dame twice, and we got our work cut up for us. If we can find a way to win a game, we'll make the playoffs, and I think we're good enough to beat anybody on any given day. So that's our goal right now, is to keep our heads up and keep playing one day at a time, and try to make it to the next season starting in 2 weeks.
Coach Dyer, Sabrina, how are you? It feels like I just seen you yesterday, but the last
Yeah.
time was just yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. Like you talked about, 3 games left on the schedule, one of those big games being Horizon. We talked about it yesterday. A little bit of a tough loss yesterday, but you guys, battled your way back, against adversity in the first 2 innings, and then even still found a way to, provide to actually make the game go a little bit longer into extra innings. A little bit of a tough loss, but as you're getting ready to go into that game, and, for anyone who missed it, what are some of those things that, you guys got to do to obviously come out with the win on top against Horizon? Because it is very possible, and you've seen that in yesterday's game.
Absolutely. No, we're tired of the storyline of another tough loss. That's kind of how our season has been. We've played some very good teams, and that's just been kind of a common thread is that, hey, that was a tough loss. We didn't get that break. We didn't get that good play. So we've got to stop that mentality. We've got to change it to we're going to make the break and we're going to make things happen and find a way to win rather than finding a way to have a tough loss. So that's our focus going into next week is just finding a way to grow up, the best we can for what this season has taught us. We've been a young and experienced team, and now it's time for them to be done with the growing pains and find a way to next week on this show, you guys say, hey, that was a great win and a tough fought game. So that's our goal.
Absolutely, Coach. And first, let me apologize because I actually messed up. You guys did lose yesterday in 8 innings and extra innings, so please, I apologize about that. I got the schedule messed up. And my question for you now is now we're heading to the final stretch of these 3 games, like you mentioned before. What are those final thoughts that you're going to be telling your players into these last games?
We're in playoff baseball. That's what we're talking about. We got to find a way to win the next game. We've got 3 games to win 1, so that's really our mindset. And as a coaching staff, we're gonna do everything we can to win that one game. And so there's no secret of what we've got to do, and the other teams know it. So we got a big challenge ahead of us, and so I'm looking forward to the challenge. I hope my kids are looking forward to the challenge. They have great energy still, even though the season's been full of tough losses. Everybody's still grinding and working hard and have good spirits. And so, I really do feel good about this team. We just got to find a way to get over the hump.
Yeah, Coach, I liked how you talked about your players. It was funny because yesterday, we were doing our pregame interview, and you had a couple of your players, sitting literally right behind the camera trying to get you to laugh, and you were so dead focused. But even throughout the game, you find little moments where, your players are, just either trying to make you to laugh, trying to get you, out of the, coaching mindset a little bit. What is that relationship like, and how do you respond, I guess, with that whole them being a little bit goofy and trying to, they want to see Coach a little bit, more like them in a way, kind of?
Yeah, we've got a great relationship. We're real close from top to bottom. We got a great group of kids, and everybody's on the same page. The best player and the last player in the program all know their role, and they all feel a part of it, and they're all very comfortable with the coaches and me in particular, where they know they can pull my strings a little bit and try to get me going. They know that I've got kind of a one-tone pace once the game gets started, and they always try to get me out of that mode, and they're usually not very successful, but they're going to keep on trying, I'm sure.
Absolutely, Coach. And, mentioning what Sabrina mentioned, having that outside relationship from just coach and player, tell me, what are, the expectations now for players beyond practices, games, and workouts?
Well, for me, my expectations is enjoy your life. You got lives outside of baseball. When you're with me, they work so hard. So my goal is always, when they're away from me, go enjoy your family, go enjoy your friends, go enjoy life, and try to keep a clear mindset and keep things in perspective that this is just a game. And then when we're not playing baseball, there's a lot of other great things in this world, and including people that are close to you. So that's always my homework on a weekend, is get away from baseball if you can, just go spend some time with family and get out and enjoy the other things in life. So when you come back on Monday, you guys are ready to give me everything you got.
Yeah, and you've talked about, it's been a little bit of a battle this season, trying to get over the hump, and, you're not trying to focus on that. If we look at the positives, of this season, you have had some great wins, and, even in some of those losses you guys have battled. What has been your favorite moment this season so far with this team?
My favorite moment is their mindset, and just every moment's my favorite moment because they keep grinding, right? We've had so many tough losses, and they don't let it get to them. The next day they're still high spirits, they're high energy. They're acting like we're a 15-2 team rather than a 4-10 team, and that's been my favorite part of the season is seeing that positive mindset. The parents they're still on board. They're still happy. There's been no distractions outside the gate. There's been no distractions inside the gate. So having done this for so many years, I know that's hard to come by. I talk to coaches that are, the 1, 2, and 3 seeds, and it's not that case, for them. They have, it's been a grind. There's always issues. There's been playing times, skirmishes, and parents are disappointed. So my favorite part about this season is this season, that we haven't had the success that we've wanted, but everybody's still on cloud 9 and having fun and just
Absolutely.
understanding their roles. So.
Excuse me there. Sorry about the interruption there. I got a little antsy there, Coach. You got me motivated for this morning. And we're gonna ask one more question. We're gonna keep it very light here. What is your favorite part as being a head coach for Desert Mountain?
My favorite part are my players. The relationships that I have with my players and my coaching staff. It's a family feel. Like you guys mentioned before, everybody feels comfortable around us, where they can goof around and they know that they can be themselves, and that's my favorite part, is the relationships that we've built and just being a part of this amazing group of kids and parents.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you so much for joining us this fabulous morning, Coach Dyer. Good luck on the rest of those 3 games. And I really hope that you could get one out of those games and make those playoffs. And good luck for the rest of your season, Coach.
Thanks, Coach
Appreciate
Dyer.
it, guys.
Of course. Have a great rest of your morning. And coming right up, we actually have a couple of pre-records for these amazing next couple minutes. We have the Coaches Spotlight featured by Sabrina. You're none other than Sabrina, who's joining me right here. And we also have the NAIA report featuring Brandon Tran. So please enjoy these couple of comments, and we'll see you in a couple minutes.
The bright lights shine on the players on the field and on the court, but it's time to shine a light on the sidelines. Welcome to the Coaches Spotlight, where we highlight and learn about a coach in Arizona. This is the Coaches Spotlight on the Varsity Sports Show. Welcome back to the Coaches Spotlight on the Varsity Sports Show. I'm your host, Sabrina, and today I have from Highland Boys Basketball, Coach Todd Fazio. Coach Fazio, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, so obviously, growing up, you were a 3-sport athlete in Iowa. What was the biggest thing that led you in making that transition from being an athlete to a coach?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate growing up from elementary school all the way through college of having unbelievable coaches.
Yeah, and my last question for you is going to be not only, coach, an amazing coach at that, you're also a founding member of the Arizona Basketball Coaches Association. Why was that something so big for, you to be a part of and founding, and why is that something so important that we have in Arizona?
Yeah, it's coaching is a lonely profession, and it can get it's really important to have a brotherhood, a sisterhood in coaching, because it can get tough.
Coach Fazio, thank you so much for taking a second out of your day, obviously, to talk to me. And thank you to you for listening to the Coaches Spotlight on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello, sports fan, as you're listening to the NIA Sports Report coming from Varsity Sports. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Brandon Tran. I got a special guest on the Zoom call today. I got Park Gilbert softball player / pitcher / hitter in Mariah Martinez. How are you today, Mariah?
I'm great. And you?
Good. Let's walk through your season so far. I mean, the team is 29-8, 17-2 in the CalPAC conference, and you're coming from South Mountain. What got you to come to Park Gilbert?
So the 2 coaches, Brennan and then Marissa, they were both coaches at South Mountain Community College, and I've been playing with them since club ball. So of course, when they were both going to be coaching at Park and they were going to be running it, they offered me and then a few other South Mountain girls to come to Park, and I've loved their coaching style since basically high school and community college, so I couldn't pass up the opportunity by coming along with them. They're my coaches, so I had to follow along with them.
What was the big adjustment going to Park Gilbert since you're meeting new faces with new teammates and going to a new school?
I would say the adjustment was pretty smooth. It took a while for us to gel together at first fall, because we have our fall season. It was a little bumpy because all of us, we were trying to gel together, and we were thinking oh no, this could be either a really rough year if we're not all going to get along, or we can just all end up getting along on the field and treat each other like sisters, and we can have an amazing year. And thankfully enough, we all gelled together. So far we've been having a pretty good year, I would say.
Walk me how you maintain that as a hitter and a pitcher throughout the season.
Really, my whole career, I've been better as a hitter than a pitcher. But this year, the numbers have definitely flipped, I would say. My hitting numbers haven't been as large as they were last year, but it's completely okay, because at the end of the day, I gotta get something done and I gotta do something right. So right now, pitching's been my go-to.
And let's walk through the matchup you have on Friday against the CalPAC champ from last year in Emory Riddles. They're one game ahead of you in the CalPAC conference. What are you expecting from this matchup this Friday?
Yeah, I'm expecting a dogfight. I think both of us want the win. We both are not going to let up easy. We're both basically going to give our best stuff, and I expect it through my team, and I expect it through their team. We know what we're fighting for. We know that we want to be number one. We know we want to be the champions in the Cal Pac, and we know what we want. But we're excited, and we have high hopes with what we're going to be able to do against Embry-Riddle.
All right, Mariah. Thank you for coming on the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Brandon Tran, and thank you for coming on, Mariah.
Have a good one.
Have a great day.
Have you downloaded the KTUS 1060 app yet? Download today and get all of your favorite local and national shows right on your phone.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
It's game time, and we're here to win. Hi, I'm Sabrina Giles. I'm a senior at ASU and studying at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications, with my major being sports journalism. I'm excited to announce that this spring I will be working with the Varsity Sports Show to bring you any and all things sports. From commentary to broadcast, I'll be working to cover your favorite teams and make my mark on the world of sports journalism.
Hello, my name is Hannah Pettiferry, and I am currently a student at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications here at Arizona State University. I am beyond excited to be joining the Varsity Sports Show this spring. Growing up, I have always played sports, and now I cannot wait to be able to study, analyze, and commentate on the sports that are being played this season in Arizona.
I'll turn those picks into gold. Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm your host, Sabrina, here still with Sebastian and Vince at the Football Showcase. So, to bring in our next guest, we have a lot of events going on in Tempe, and right now we have a special guest live from the Pats Run in Tempe, Ed Olson. Ed, how are you doing?
Sabrina, I'm doing great. For the record, I want to tell you that I finished a long time ago, so I don't want you to think I'm just like crossing the finish line right now. I know I'm a little older, but still, the 18th time running it, and great event, great weather, and it honors a great American and a great Fun Devil. So excited to be here and excited to be on the show.
I was actually going to ask you, we were talking about it during commercial, how you were saying when we talked last time, you probably weren't going to break any records this year. How did the whole run go? What was the turnout like over there at Pat's Run?
Another huge turnout. I'm not sure exactly how many people, but it's roughly 20,000, I think. And it's as always, a great event. Coach Dillingham just walked by here a few minutes ago. Some of the players from ASU are here. No, I didn't break any records. I'm running with a bum knee, but I didn't stop either. Pat Tillman was a guy who never stopped, who always served others and did his best. And my goal today was to get started and not stop. And I ran it in 39:41, which is one of my slower times, but that's okay. I'm also 100 years old, so no big deal there.
Well, hey Ed Olson. My name is Sebastian Mondaka. I'm one of the co-hosts here. And, first and foremost, 39, under 40, it's very impressive considering that, you're getting more mature now and, you're getting into that lifestyle of just running it through the big marathon. So, honestly, big congratulations. And so, hearing from you always participate in the Pat Tillman Run. And, I want you to tell me and the audience more about it and, how important is it for the community?
Well, in my opinion, it brings us all together, and we're in a time when we don't have a ton of heroes. He's one that I would consider one of the biggest and best heroes of the history of this school and this community. He shows selflessness in a time when we don't see a lot of that. To serve his country and walk away from an NFL contract is beyond impressive. And what I would say is that the least I could do is get up at 5 in the morning and make my way down here and do this run. So, and as Sabrina knows, her and I have known each other for some time now. You know, being a sound mind means being you've got to work out, take good care of yourself, and when you do, you can serve others better, and you'll be around longer to do it. So that's my philosophy as far as that's concerned. But the community benefits from this. The community comes together for this. There's a huge group of us here still at Sun Devil Stadium. We're going to make our way out to the festival that's here adjacent to it, and then hopefully stick around for the spring game and watch the Sun Devils play football.
Yeah, and so Ed, not only are you, a participant this year, Pat's Run, you do a lot more, professor over at ASU, but also you own 2 of your own businesses, Line Drive Sports and Rethink Advertising. Go ahead and talk a little bit about that and what it is that you do, working with the Cardinals and working with all these different organizations and what your companies do.
So I feel extra blessed that I've had a great career in sports and a great career, and more importantly, I should say, a great life with my family. And both my businesses are not huge, but they do pretty well as far as employing people and serving our clients well. I really do enjoy my time at ASU as far as being a professor is concerned. That's where we met Sabrina, and that's where I get a chance to give back to young people who are looking to have a career in this industry. It's super rewarding.
Absolutely.
High caliber, and wonderful, and you have a time in your life is the biggest reward I could have as far as that's concerned. So, I appreciate the kind words, and I love the life that I have, and I'm blessed to have it.
Absolutely. And, hopefully, you say you're an ASU professor, so hopefully our lines could cross soon coming up. I'm just a sophomore, so I'm still young, still learning about the ASU culture around Arizona State University. And, talking about your business, even though it's not too big, I like to say that every business is successful, whether it's big or whether it's small. So obviously, it's great for you to have a business. And, I want to bring up some recent news that just came out within the Cardinals. Budo Baker requested a trade to get out of here in Arizona. Obviously hurts me because I'm a big Cardinals fan. Coming from your perspective, how bad do you think that it is for the Cardinals organization?
Well, I want to speak broadly first about the state of professional sports in Arizona. It's a great market, but for whatever reason, we seem to have, or at least from my perspective, a leadership problem where we can't create positive cultures that players want to be, stay in, and where coaches want. It's kind of a head shaker to see what's happened with the Suns and their ownership group, what's happening with the Cardinals and their ownership group. And it trickles down to the people that work in those organizations, some of which are students that I've put into the business or I've tried to help get into the business, and some of which are more high profile, like players like Buda Baker. I hate to see when a community leader, a solid, not only a solid player, but a solid person, leaves one of our professional organizations. So it's disappointing. I'm hopeful that they build it, but if we all take note, it all starts with leadership.
Yeah,
we have a solid organization.
Yeah, Ed, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. You were already up, but taking some time, just to talk with me, Sebastian, about not only Pat's Run, but what it is that you do as well. And it's always a pleasure just talking with you as well.
Sabrina, you're one of my favorite people on the whole planet. So good to talk to you this morning. Nice to meet you, and nice to talk to you, Sabrina. And I will talk to both of you guys again. Take care.
Absolutely. See you later, Ellison.
Thanks, Ed. Bye. Sebastian, we got more content coming up.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. We have Around the Globe by MD, and we also have the Tampa Bay Rays, a little bit discussion with Jake Seaver. We'll be back after these short pre-records.
It's more than just a game. Sit back and relax for a global overview of sports and sports cultures, games around the globe, and coverage of countries worldwide. Welcome to Around the Globe with Maya Denise Gaskin. Good morning, Arizona. This is your host, Maya Denise Gaskin, with another segment of Around the Globe. How are we this beautiful Saturday morning? Let's get into our two stories. Our first story takes us to the world of basketball, where the NBA playoffs are just around the corner. This year's postseason is shaping up to be one of the most competitive in recent memory, with several teams vying for the coveted championship trophy. One team that's caught the attention of fans and analysts alike is the Brooklyn Nets. With an all-star lineup that includes Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, the Nets are widely considered to be one of the favorites to win it all. However, they'll face stiff competition from other top teams like the Los Angeles Lakers, the Utah Jazz, and Philadelphia 76ers. It's shaping up to be an exciting and unpredictable playoff race, and fans around the world will be tuning in to see who comes out on top. Our second story takes us to the world of Formula One racing, where the season opener in Bahrain saw a thrilling battle between defending champion Lewis Hamilton and Red Bull's Max Verstappen. The race was closely contested throughout, with Verstappen ultimately coming out on top and taking the checkered flag. This victory marks a promising start for Red Bull, who are looking to mount a serious challenge to Mercedes' dominance in the sport. With 22 races scheduled for the season, it will be fascinating to see how this rivalry unfolds and whether anyone can join the fray at the front of the grid. Unfortunately, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Around the Globe segment on KDUS 1060, the Varsity Sports Show. And until next week, have a beautiful day.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Seaver here, back for another segment. And today I'm going to be talking about an MLB team right now that is doing everything right at the beginning of this MLB season. With the 9-7 win over the Boston Red Sox on Wednesday night, the Tampa Bay Rays become just the third team to win 12 straight games to open a baseball season since the dead ball era more than a century ago. And with one more win, the Rays will tie the Brewers and the Braves as the only teams to begin the year with 13 victories since all the way back in the 1880s. According to The Guardian, this winning streak is the latest achievement for a team that is known for modest payrolls, which really kind of speaks to how this team has been able to band together and play strong, solid baseball, especially being in the same division as teams such as the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox, which are famously deep-pocketed and pay a lot of money for the players that they have, as opposed to the Rays, again, with their modest payroll. And in 2 of those 6 playoff seasons, the Rays had the lowest payroll of any team in the major leagues. And really, you have to ask, what is propelling them to this start? Is it their hitting? Definitely a big part of it. The Rays, not typically known for power, but it's definitely been one of their biggest assets to start this season. And after ranking 25th out of 30 teams last year in those home runs, the Rays have hit 30 in 12 games to start this year. And entering Tuesday's game, they were actually tied for the most home runs that any team had hit in their first 11 games. Again, now here on Wednesday night, with the 12-0 record after defeating the Boston Red Sox, we will continue to watch this Rays team and see where they go with the remainder of this MLB season. Thank you so much again for checking in with us, and be sure to tune in next week on the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back. And unfortunately for you, Jacob Seaver, the Rays lost yesterday to Toronto to end their undefeated streak, but still a big team to watch out for this year in the MLB season. Sabrina, what's going on here at the Fall Ball Showcase?
Yeah, so, the event started at 8. They're just, starting it for the most part. The guys are out there stretching. We see kind of a little bit of a multi-athlete situation happening right now. There's some people on the track, running short sprints. Actually, right now, we see a mom running with a stroller with her baby in the stroller on the track. So good for her. We love seeing. You got to get your workout in whenever you can, and even more props with a newborn in a stroller. I can't imagine how hard that is with a stroller.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's just double the workout there. So hopefully she's gonna have a good run sprint around the track here at Margot Deniza High School. And obviously, just to give you a quick insight, what's going on. Happening after this small break, we have Mike Jacobs, Thunderbird baseball coach, going to be explaining us a couple of what's going on with his team. They're having a great season. So we'll be back after this.
Before we go to break, I do have to say this, and this was pointed out to me by the families at Thunderbird. The team is 4-0 since we've been broadcasting for them. In the games that we broadcast, they are undefeated. So hint, hint to everybody out there, bring us on to do your games, and you guys will win too. Anyway, joining us after the break, Coach Mike Jacobs, Thunderbird Baseball. We'll be back.
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner with SaberCat Athletics. That's right, the Scottsdale Saguaro SaberCats are on the Varsity Sports Show. Join the varsity team as we cover the Cats during the SaberCat Report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring players, coaches, and commentary. Look out for live stream coverage of Saguaro SaberCat sporting events by going to YouTube and searching for Varsity Sports Show, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date. The Saguaro SaberCats are here. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Venetian who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
Tighten up with Thunderbird Titans baseball on Varsity Sports Show AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And now, here's Titans coach Mike Jacobs.
And we're back. Unfortunately, we aren't able to get on the phone with Mike Jacobs, so it's just going to be a quick one-on-one talk with me and you, Sabrina, until hopefully Mike Jacobs could get back to us, hopefully, because we got some great questions for him. However, Sabrina, I just want to bring up some stuff about school. How's school going so far? We're heading to the end stretch here at ASU.
We are, and heading to the end stretch of my college career right now, unless I decide to go do my master's right now, which is not in my cards right now. But we're almost done. We're 3-ish weeks, I guess, depending on finals.
Yeah, I believe we're on the 15th today. I think the last day of classes. I'm putting like an apostrophe over that because the way ASU works is kind of unique.
Yeah.
Because I come here from Arizona and I live here my whole life, so I went from Alhambra High School going straight to ASU. And I realized that the classes and tests, they're different. So like the in classes officially like the end of the semester, but then the following week we have tests. So there's always some classes that do have those big final exams. And I believe it's on the 6th where we end our last class, and then the 13th is the official last day of ASU. So, do you have any final exams coming up?
I only have one. The good thing I feel like about being a sports journalism major is you don't have to deal with actual like final exams. It's more like projects, and those typically end like on the 29th when the class ends for the most part. But I do have one, and it's on the last day of finals, which is on the 6th.
Oh.
But then on the 12th of May, we will be graduated, college graduate. First technical college graduate from a university in my family, honestly.
Oh, so you're a first generation.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Unless we count my sister who got her associate's degree in high school, which she always likes to bring up, but university.
That's awesome.
Me.
Honestly, first, congratulations.
Thank
Obviously, seeing how college is right now, especially in social media, there's a lot of people who have like that very good opinion saying that college is a scam. Obviously, it really goes different ways. Not school is not really meant for everyone, and obviously, people are find to be successful after high school when they find themselves a really good paying job. And there are some students that like to reach out into college, so that's great for them. And obviously, congratulations for you. Obviously, being able to complete these last 4 years. How was the journey?
I think it was amazing, honestly. It was different because I transferred actually to ASU my junior year. And so I got experience doing completely different things at both the two universities, with one being the first 2 years of my college, journey of school being at Seattle Pacific University and then coming here. But both universities definitely did provide me with, amazing opportunities to actually further my education. And I learned what I like to do and what I don't like to do in journalism, which is always great. I think that's amazing when you can figure out what you like to do, what you don't, what you're good at, what you're not good at. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And we actually have Plan B here. We have a special guest here with the Phoenix Indian Center. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, my name is Melanie Mariano, and I am the Youth Program Manager here at the Phoenix Indian Center.
Awesome. Explain what do you do? Like, what's the big show?
Well, a little bit of everything. So our program is actually funded through the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., Office of American Indian Education. And really our programming, because we're a nonprofit organization, we hit many different service areas, but we mainly focus on high school youth, and we do a lot of programming for college and career readiness. Plus, we do a lot of cultural workshops and presentations to keep our urban indigenous high school youth engaged in their culture here in the in Phoenix Metro.
That's awesome. And obviously, it comes into like a question for the organization. Before we get to you, Sabrina, I'm sorry. I'm
you're
asking the
good.
questions.
You're
and
good.
I want to ask you, obviously there's a lot of nonprofit organizations out there. How do you manage via money-wise? Like, that's always been a question in the business side, and I always want to like see some answers. Like, how does it get managed via like money-wise?
Well, I would have to check with our CFO first and foremost. But really, we're honestly very blessed. I can say this because I came on still kind of on the backside of COVID. I took on this role here at the Phoenix Indian Center in May of 21. And our offices were actually still technically closed to the public at that time, where we were still providing services, and most of them were actually still virtual. And that being said, my program was under an older grant that had been running, through all of COVID and a little bit before that. So our last grant and our funding ended for my program last fall in October. And so we had to write for a new grant last April. And hopefully, fingers crossed, got it. And of course, they let us know with about 2 weeks coming down to the line of whether we were going to get funded or not for our program. But luckily, we were able to. And now we're able to, be fully funded and do all this wonderful programming, including things like this, like what we're doing here today. This is not actually written into our grant to do these types of sporting events, but what my team and I and our directors at the Phoenix Indian Center found over the last couple years is that there's a need for this in our community. There's so many different indigenous athletes here in the Phoenix Metro that don't always have these sorts of opportunities to come out and come to these sort of showcases. So that's why we decided to start doing this last year, and now we're in our second year.
awesome. It's so beautiful seeing you explain the whole situation and whatnot. And I'm sorry about asking that one question. Obviously not very. You didn't really know the perfect answer for that, but honestly, the answer you gave me was so beautiful. And obviously, thank you so much for coming on short notice. We apologize,
course,
and obviously, we love giving you.
You handled it like a pro, honestly.
Communications is my background. I was actually a radio DJ, a couple years back.
Look at that. Radio
Another
DJ.
part of my life, so I completely understand. Thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely. The privilege is always honored. It's always ours. I got the little tongue twister there. But don't go anywhere. We have one quick pre-record. We have Hustle with Houston with Olivia Herzberg. Don't go anywhere. Check this out.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Hustle with Houston. In today's episode, I'll discuss the Arizona Rattlers season thus far and what you can look forward to. The Rattlers, now 1-2, completed their first home game of the season at Footprint Center. The attendance drew in a little over 12,000 fans. The game was against the Tucson Sugar Skulls and resulted in a loss of 54-48. This is the Rattlers' first home opener loss since the 2016 season. Arizona started off strong, ending the first and second quarters with a lead by 1 point. Sadly, this was the last time the Rattlers would be ahead. Head coach Kevin Guy was ejected from the game following a miscommunication on timeouts with only a minute left in play. This was Guy's first ejection during his 15-year tenure with the Arizona Rattlers. For the Rattlers' next game, they take on the Duke City Gladiators at Footprint Center on April 15th. Be sure to secure your tickets. After that, the Rattlers won't be home for another month as they're headed to Frisco, Texas to take on the Frisco Fighters. Then, Tulsa, Oklahoma, as they're set to match up against the Tulsa Oilers. And finally, the Vegas Nighthawks in Las Vegas. Rattlers will be home again on May 20th as they take on the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Isaiah Houston, star wide receiver for the Arizona Rattlers, is still hosting his camp at Arizona Christian University for aspiring young athletes. For more information and the latest updates, go to isaiahhouston.com. Be sure to follow Isaiah on social media on Instagram at @I_Houston7 and Twitter at IsaiahHouston7. Thank you so much for tuning into this edition of Hustle with Houston. We'll catch you next time.
And welcome back. I'm your host, Sabrina, still here with none other than Sebastian, and we are still at Marcos de Niza High School for the Fall Ball Combine. And Sebastian, we've had so many great guests, so many great segments going on, a lot of, energy going on right now. It still is the first early hour of, the whole program and everything. But what are you feeling out here right now?
You mentioned the first early hour, but, let's bring it up that we're actually coming to the very end of this hour here. We're going to have a quick guest here quite shortly. And his name is actually Coach Perone here. He's going to be talking with us. First, Coach Perone, introduce yourself. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you guys for having me on here. It's an amazing day. A big fan of the Varsity Sports Show. Vince and I have worked together for a very long time.
And I have to say, you guys don't know, you're just meeting Coach Perone for the first time, but we're in the midst of royalty here. Coach Perone is an icon here in the Valley. He came up to me today, and naturally he was teasing me about my hat because it was cold when I got here today. I don't have the luxury of showing up 5 minutes before things start like he does. But Coach, talk real quickly about the event and your role in all of this.
Well, the Phoenix Indian Center does a great job, and Nick, and I was a part of this event last year, and it was amazing. You have so many great athletes, especially these indigenous athletes that they don't know how to get themselves recruited. They don't know, coaches don't know where they are. They don't go up to the reservations. They don't visit them. So, what we're trying to do here is bridge that gap. We're trying to teach them how to be an advocate for themselves, but also on my end, I'm going to try to help the Phoenix Indian Center and these athletes by getting their names out to these coaches. It's tough. Recruiting has become a very, very tough game right now, and with the transfer portal and what's happened to these young athletes, there's a lot of kids that aren't playing college football, and they can. and they don't know about some of these schools, and they don't know about some of these scholarship opportunities. So I'm thankful to be here, and especially thankful for my friends at the Varsity Sports Show.
And obviously, you consider us your friend, so you're now my friend as well, Coach Perron.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. First, let me thank you for coming on short notice here. Obviously, having some miscues here and there, but obviously having you on the show unexpectedly is the best part of the Varsity Sports Show. You never know what just happens here on the radio show. So.
Hey, that's the way we do it here.
Absolutely.
Go Varsity.
Absolutely, just like Coach Perron said. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have some special live guests coming right up after this short break. We'll be back after this small break. Go Varsity.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Hello there, my name is Brandon Tran, and I'm a Cronkite student at Arizona State University, and I'm so thrilled to be joining the Varsity Sports Show this semester. As a former athlete myself, I'll be providing content, both boys and girls, as you can follow me on Twitter at BrandonTran70. As I hope to see you all there this semester and provide great content around you.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is made possible by Friends of the Varsity Media Foundation,
a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization.
You are listening.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
On AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
Still the home of youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. And now,
welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio here live with my co-hosts, Sebastian Mondaka and Sabrina Giles, out at Marcos Denisa High School in Tempe for the Indigenous Football Combine, sponsored by the Phoenix Indian Center, a great event, been going on for a few years now, and about 200 students have been coming running through here, and there's also a little volleyball camp going on. So a lot of activity, a lot of moving parts. We've had a couple of amazing guests so far joining us. Another one that's joining us on the line, this is a guy that I've known for, over 30 years now. And he's still at it. He's become fancied himself a bit of a turnaround specialist in high school football programs and programs that have been down and out here and there, and turning them around. Starting with many years ago, Central High School, put them back on the map, late 80s, early 90s, and moved on. Went to Agua Fria for a little while. Spent some time at some other schools here and there, and I had a chance to work with him out at North High School in Phoenix, the Phoenix Union High School District. Brought them back to the playoffs after having been that program had been dormant for a good number of years. And his name is Gary Cook. He is now the head football coach, just named recently, confirmed, out at Coconino High School in Flagstaff. Coach Cook, good morning, sir.
How you doing, Ben?
Coach, I if I'd have had your resume next to me here, I'd have gone through the whole thing, but it would have taken us the rest of the show, the next hour to go through.
Right.
You've worked at a lot of places.
I have. It's been a long journey. It's been over 40 years. So.
Yeah. Was that is that by design, or were certain times decisions made for you that you ended up going to other places?
You know, in this business, if you're in it for that long, there's a lot of different reasons why you end up making moves. But, it's not both ways.
Yeah. Coach, we had a heck of an experience at some of the schools that we worked together, and I failed to mention you were also the head coach at Shadow Mountain for a brief time as well a few years back. But how are you liking northern Arizona? Obviously, this time of year, it's getting a little warmer out, and so you got to be enjoying that. But talk to us a little bit about the culture at Coconino.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have been in a lot of places, and I have rarely, if ever, been as impressed by the vibe about the school and the program that I have felt since I've been the head coach at Coconino. It's just, there's a community feeling there that just seems so different and so positive. Like I said, I've almost never experienced that like this.
All right. Hey, Coach. My name is Sebastian Mondaka. I'm here working with the Varsity Sports Show. We're going to go straight into this question, Coach. I did some studying on you. You were the previous offensive coordinator for Bradshaw Mountain. What kind of experience would you be bringing for this football program at Coconino High School?
Well, that part is going to be the biggest change for Coconino. Mike Lapsley, who was my predecessor, had real success at Coconino, but they were playing a completely different style of football than what we're going to bring in. They were literally like a double-wing team that just, in a very powerful way, just kind of pounded people, but was really kind of an offense that didn't feature wide receivers at all, or very, very little. And I'm attack the entire field, make the defense cover from sideline to sideline guy. So that's going to be the biggest change. We expect to continue that very, very physical run game that they had, but as part of a more diversified attack, I would say.
Hi, Coach Cook. It's Sabrina. So, you talked about obviously, head coach for Coconino High School and everything. You obviously know some of these players, but then with also others of them, they're new to you. You're new to them, they're new to you. Kind of what goes into that process of, building that relationship with such limited time, as you get ready for, the season in the fall?
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that's happened is I did have a team meeting about 3 weeks ago, and I'm still at Bradshaw Mountain finishing up the school year, so what's happened is I've been over there about 3 or 4 times a week, but during the time since that team meeting, I have had personal phone calls with almost 80 kids. I couldn't do personal meetings because of time, the time gap. I couldn't get over there till 4:30 typically, but I've spent 15, 20 hours trying to get to know guys and hoping that they get to know me a little bit. So I think that's really helped. I think people have been kind of receptive to that. And kind of the best we could do right now, but it was good. And so, kids around campus when I am there, I don't necessarily know who they are right now, but they know who I am. So I think, we're kind of off to a good start with that.
Absolutely, Coach. And we're going to go into another question for you. What does this opportunity becoming a head coach for Coconino means to you?
Well, it means a great deal because I had been out for a couple of years. I went to was coaching at a small college in Texas and wanted to get back to Arizona, wanted to get back to high school football. And I actually, this was in 2017, actually finished second for the head coaching job at Bradshaw Mountain. But kind of a different thing. They turned around and said, hey, we're not going to offer you this job, but we like you. Would you consider coming here? So I ultimately did after a lot of talk over a month or so with the guy who got the job. And I became the head coach there. I'm sorry, the offensive coordinator there. But that head coach, that was Chuck Moeller. He unfortunately passed away a couple years back now. And Bob Young, who's basically legendary up in this part of the state, had been at Mingus for many, many years, had been at Westwood way back in the day. Back when I was at Phoenix College, Bob was the head coach at Westwood. Anyway, Bob got the job. He kept us, the entire staff, the first year because he didn't get the job until the first week of July. We were 2-3 weeks away from practice. But after that first year, Bob's his own offensive coordinator, and Bob brought his own defensive coordinator in after that first season. So I actually had been out of coaching. I was involved. I was doing film analysis work for a high school down in the valley and for that school in Texas, the small college in Texas. I was doing some mentoring, but I was really, really trying to get back into it. I finished second on a couple of jobs a year ago. So for this to happen to me now, I'm just extremely grateful, and because I was beginning to wonder if maybe it wasn't going to happen again.
Coach, it definitely was, and it did, and they obviously found the prize catch in bringing you on board. I think you're going to have a great time, and we're looking forward to covering you this season. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we appreciate you joining us, Coach. We've got to cut this just a little bit short, but we appreciate you joining us, and we're going to circle back with you and see how things are going out there for you.
Well, I appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. Coach Gary Cook, the brand new head football coach at Coconino High School, and taking over a program that's had some success the last few years and has been down the last year. But he's an innovator, and he loves slinging that rock. I tell you what, he loves throwing the ball, but he also mixes in some really nice zone concepts, and so he's going to do a great job for them and been in this business a long time. So, Coach Gary Cook, thanks again, and Aaron, take it away.
That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of
Welcome to the Ref Spotlight with AIA basketball official Caleb Wiley breaking down plays and rulings. Good morning and welcome back to another Ref Spotlight on the Varsity Sports Show. I am Caleb Wiley, your host. Now, for this segment, I want to talk about lane violations on a free throw and any other sort of violations and what happens when these do occur. Now, the first one is obvious when the free thrower is shooting the ball and they at any point cross over the free throw line before the ball hits the rim. That is a violation by the offense and it goes automatically to the defense. Now, the offensive players lining up on the lane line, waiting for the free throw to shoot the ball. They're a little bit different. They go on release, right when the free thrower releases the ball, and they're able to cross that line and try to get the rebound. If they do at any point cross that line before the release of the free thrower, then that's an automatic no shot, and it goes to the defensive team right away. Now, for the offensive players who are standing in the three-point line, if they at any point cross that three-point line before the ball hits the rim, then that is a lane violation. They have to wait for it to hit the rim, and the same thing happens, automatic dead ball, and the possession goes to the defensive team. Now, for the defensive players who are waiting, if they at any point cross that line, if they're lining up in the lane line and they cross that line before the free thrower releases the ball, then you will see the ref kind of hold a fist open, like to the side, and that indicates that the defensive player crossed the line or did a lane violation. And if the free thrower misses the free throw, then they get another attempt at it. But the biggest thing is that the ref should allow the offense that finished that free throw if the defense is the one that caused the lane violation. Now, if they both go in at the same time, then it is a jump ball. Jump ball for a double lane violation, and obviously it goes to wherever the possession arrow is pointing to. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you for listening to the Ref Spotlight on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dominic Hernandez, and today I'm very excited to be doing an interview with Sarah Prince, who does track and field at Williams Field High School. So, Sarah, I wanted to start off with, how did you first initially get into doing track and field?
So I was a gymnast my entire childhood, and once 7th grade hit, I wanted to do something different. So I started doing track because of my mom. And for the longest time ever, I thought she was a hurdler. That's why I started doing hurdles. But I just found out last year that she never was a hurdler. She was an 800 runner, which is pretty funny. But I started mainly just because I wanted to be like my mom.
In doing hurdles, what have you noticed is uniquely challenging about doing the different distances of that hurdles has?
So the 100 hurdle, it's more difficult saying, like, if you mess up, it kind of takes away your entire race. Like, that's the whole race. But in 300 hurdles, if you mess up a little bit, you can come back in a way. Like, the race isn't over. So I like them for different reasons, because I like how challenging the 100 is, where it's just so back to back. All the hurdles are in. It's a sprint the entire time. And the 300 hurdles, I like how it's more spaced out and you can alternate legs, and it doesn't really matter. You can still just do your best that way.
And so what have you enjoyed the most about doing track and field so far in your high school career?
I really enjoy the hurdles. I love how there's technique to it, and it's not a sprint. Like, the hurdle race is just all technique.
I know recently you just broke 2 Arizona track and field records at a recent meet. So just tell me about what the experience was like.
It was definitely an amazing experience. Running the 100 hurdles, immediately after I finished the race, I could tell that I PR'd, and it was a fast run. So I let out like a big scream. I was like, yes! It was just a ton of raw emotion that I was feeling from building up to that meet and to that race that I wanted to run. And immediately when I crossed the line, I felt that I ran that. So it was just raw emotion coming off that last hurdle, because it was just a build up from my entire season. And the 300 hurdles, it just amazed me because I wasn't expecting it, but it felt just amazing to like accomplish what I've been building up to.
And lastly, what did you feel that you've learned from that experience of breaking those records going forward?
I would say track is all mental. So it definitely like allowed me to overcome my mental state, meaning like I can do more than what I can put my mind to. And so it's just, I'm glad that I can like overcome and accomplish more than what I put my mind to.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank Sarah Prince, who does track and field at Williams Field High School, for taking the time to do this interview, and good luck on all the upcoming meets that you have.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening, and have a great rest of your day.
Your morning drive just got a little better. The Dan Patrick Show is live weekday morning starting at 6 exclusively on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, this is Mesa Community College Assistant Athletic Director Mike Lavella and Modern Day Invincible. You're listening to AM 1060, the Varsity Sports Show, the home of all your junior college sports coverage.
Hello, my name is Dominic Hernandez, and I am currently working at the Varsity Sports Show. I am a senior at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Arizona State University. I will be working various jobs, from working the camera to doing play-by-play of games. I can't wait to see what unique stories there will be in this upcoming high school sports season, and be able to cover all the different sports that every high school has to offer.
Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Hey Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the SaberCat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Mickey. And now, here's the SaberCat Report.
The SaberCat Report is brought to you by Chispas Fast and Fresh. Healthy-minded Mexican for dinners on the go. Expect all the classics, elevated with the best ingredients and made from family recipes, generations in the making. Located just east of Hayden on Thomas Road in Scottsdale. Find us on Instagram and Facebook or on the web at chispasfresh.com. That's Chispas, CHISPAS, fresh.com. Open 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., Sunday through Thursday, and 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday. Chispas, fast and fresh. And now, welcome on the show, Saguaro baseball head coach, Joe Mickey. Coach Mickey, how are you doing?
Oh, well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm great. Here with, Vince and Sebastian. Let's get it right started into your season. You guys have been having a really good season at Saguaro. What's been the highlight so far of this season for you and, the team?
It has been a fantastic season, and just the energy. The guys are having a lot of fun playing a game, right? We kind of remind them that it's a game that we work really hard at, and it's our craft. But to see them actually truly enjoying it in the dugout, between the lines, that family element that we really try to pull for and create as a culture, I think is really shining this year, like it has in years past. But when you have success, it makes it that much more enjoyable for all parties.
Hey, Coach Sebastian, I always love talking to you whenever I'm working color and talking with the mic with you. You're always a great person to talk to. And I'm going to come up with this question because I'm actually going to have an interview here with Marco Deniza High School head coach for baseball in a couple minutes. And you guys faced each other last night. And it was a high-scoring offense. And you guys ended up winning the game 22-11, if that's correct. Tell us the morale of that team win after such an amazing victory.
Yeah, no, and and Matt does a great job over there at Marcos. They're playing really well too. Our region's probably one of the tougher ones, truthfully, and I think you see that when you see 5 teams in the top 20 and Marcos being up there too. And so we knew we were going to be in for a team that swung it really well. They came out and hit the ball really well, and we just had to match that energy and output. And when you start seeing that many runs scored, you're thinking, hey, man, this is a bad pitching day. But really, it was just good hitting on both sides, and it was hard to get guys out yesterday. So we were happy that our process kind of shined through a little bit better. But we know we're going to be in for another tough one on Monday when they're coming to our place, and they want a little bit of that second chance mentality. So we got to be ready for they're kind of what they're going to come out and try to do, which is take one from us.
Yeah, you touched on it, Coach. You guys are going to be seeing each other back on Monday. What's kind of that game plan, or what do you keep from what you guys did yesterday to, apply to this coming up game on Monday as you face against them?
It would be just that. It's honestly not taking anything for granted. We talked about so much of this just being as a humble process. So, if you really go into it like, hey, we want to be 1-0 on Monday, and you just know you're going to get somebody who's coming out with a lot of energy, we've got to match that every day. And, we're at the home stretch here with 3 games left in the regular season, and I really just try to get the guys to enjoy the moment. If you can be where you're at, be where your feet are, not look ahead, but just be ready to enjoy the process down the stretch. That's just the days that we have right here in front of us. So those are all just good things. And I know Marcos is going to come out ready to swing it again, a high-powered offense. So we just have to be ready to play good defense behind our pitchers and hopefully keep the runs down a little bit in that one and find a way to score one more than them.
It's going to be a great matchup, that's for sure, Coach. And, I'm going to come up with one more question for you here. And I've seen a couple of your games and always noticed that your baseball staff is always talking with the team, trying to get them pumped up and give advice when necessary. Tell me, as a head coach for that baseball team, how much do they mean to this Saguaro team?
I still love that you asked that, Sebastian. I always appreciate those recognitions. I mean, Ricky Gonzalez has done amazing with our hitters, and Dave Fortney with our pitchers, and Cody Fortney with our defense. These guys they're invested in these kids, and the kids feel that love. We talk about leading with love, and our staff it's a special one. It makes my job coming to the yard every day not feel like work, and it's a privilege to have such amazing men who kind of lead these other young men, and so these guys are definitely just what you want as a coaching staff to be all in for a program and for the players.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, that's all the time we have in for you today, Coach. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. It's always a blast to have you on the mic with you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good luck on Monday, Coach. And coming right up for this radio show, we have the JUCO Sports Report with Jodeci Ariana. And right after that, we also have the Wildcat Insider for those interested in U of A. And then we'll be back shortly after these small segments. Go Varsity.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. This is the JUCO Sports Report. And now, here is Jodeci Ariana with the JUCO Sports Report. Welcome to the JUCO Sports Report. I am your host, Jodeci Ariana. The ACCAC released their baseball and softball Players of the Week from March 26th through April 1st. Sophomore Anthony Imhoff from Pima Community College was named Division I Pitcher of the Week for his performance against Scottsdale Community College. Imhoff allowed 2 hits, 0 runs, in 8 innings pitched. He also attributed 9 strikeouts. Sophomore Andrew Stuckey from Pima Community College was named Division I Position Player of the Week for his performance against Chandler Gilbert Community College. Stuckey had 3 runs, 5 hits, and 3 RBIs in 10 at-bats. Pima Community College has a conference record of 21-9 and an overall record of 34-12. Sophomore Jose Velasquez from Glendale Community College was named Division II Pitcher of the Week for his performance against Arizona Western College. Velasquez had 3 strikeouts, allowed only 5 hits and 2 runs in 5 pitch innings. Glendale Community College has a conference record of 11-18 and an overall record of 24-22. This is the JUCO Sports Report with Jodeci Ariana on baseball and softball Players of the Week in the ACCAC Conference. Sophomore Desiree Lavario from Central Arizona College was named Division I Pitcher of the Week for her performance against Scottsdale Community College. Lavario allowed 5 hits, 0 runs in 5 pitch innings and 2 strikeouts. Central Arizona College has a conference record of 25-9 and an overall record of 29-15. Sophomore Cassidy Morrow from Eastern Arizona College was named Division I Position Player of the Week for her performances against Pima Community College and Mesa Community College. Morrow had 10 hits, 5 runs, and 6 RBIs in 15 at-bats. Eastern Arizona College has a conference record of 29-7 and an overall record of 32-14. This has been the JUCO Sports Report with Jodeci Ariana.
Welcome. It's time for your Wildcat Insider with Mary Grace Armistead. Your inside report on Wildcat athletics on the Varsity Sports Show. Let's get started. Hi everyone, it's MG on the Varsity Sports Show with your Wildcat Insider. Let's get started. First, we have some Arizona men's basketball news. Arizona transfer Kirk Christa is headed to West Virginia. Creighton point guard Ryan Nimhard intends to transfer. There is a possibility he comes to Arizona because there are a lot of family ties to the current Arizona staff, so keep a lookout on that. Arizona women's basketball Jada Louisville was selected as the 33rd pick by Seattle Storm. The Arizona men's 100-meter relay team has been named Pac-12 Men's Track Athletes of the Week. The team clocked a time of 39.15 to win the event last weekend, which is 3rd all-time in school history. Arizona beach volleyball downs Utah and upsets number 10 Stanford 3-2, but also fall to number 4 UCLA. Delaria and Kali are the first winners of the Pac-12 Pair of the Week in program history. Arizona baseball loses to Washington, Oregon in a series, but rolls over New Mexico State and square up against Washington State, Utah, and ASU next. Arizona softball, Olivia DiNardo is top in the Pac-12 and top freshman in the country, but the team lost to Stanford in a series 0-3. Arizona men's tennis squared up against Oregon, and they win 4-1, and also beat Washington 4-0 on Senior Day. Arizona women's tennis loses to number 26 UCLA 1-6, and then number 29 USC 3-4, even with winning the doubles points and singles wins from freshmen Tanvi and Parker. That's all for your Wildcat Insider. Tune in on the Varsity Sports Show.
Guys, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. We're still live on this 9 o'clock hour, 9:30, here with Sebastian and two special guests that you guys will meet in a little bit. And we are still at Marcos de Niza High School. As this fall ball showcase is going on, we got football, volleyball going on. Right now, as we talked about it, that first early hour, for the showcase was a little bit slower. Right now, the guys are working on some 40-yard dashes right now, some agility footwork, seen some verticals going on. Some of these boys are pretty fast too, Sebastian.
That's absolutely awesome. Seeing how the Indigenous Center being able to provide for these people who want to play and continue to play football at a high level, having all these activities as well. Obviously, when I was in high school, I wish I had all these activities as well. So obviously, if you're tuning in and you're interested in taking some sports, go ahead and pop out here at Marco de Niza High School. This event's gonna be lasting until after our radio show until 2 p.m. So it's gonna be a long time here with Marco de Niza High School. And Sabrina, what are the takeaways coming on for the show now?
Honestly, there's so much more. You always think the content's going to stop, but it never seems to stop. And I don't know how we fit it all in 2 hours, honestly. Good job to Vince. We got the Tempe Sports Report coming up with Hannah. We have another special guest that we will keep anonymous until, it's time to bring him on.
Absolutely.
So there's so much going on coming up on the show in this last half hour.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to keep that mysterious person still mysterious because you'll see him in just 2 minutes here. We'll be back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Go grab some coffee. Go grab a snack. Make some breakfast. We'll see you after this short break. Go Varsity.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m.
This is just something I like to call breakfast.
With big name guests, timely sports information, and more on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, my name is Maya Denise Gaskin, and I'm a 19-year-old student pursuing a degree in broadcast journalism at the University of Arizona. With a passion for sports and a strong background in dance and performance, I'm excited to pursue my dream of becoming a sports broadcaster. In addition to my professional experience, I have a track record of academic success and leadership throughout my community. I currently serve as your Miss Arizona Teen USA, and I'm eager to use my skills and talents to make a positive impact in the world of sports.
This is Coach Lucas Ramirez, and you are listening to the home of the Saguaro Sabercats, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Sports, sports, sports. Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Mondaka, and it's a pleasure of mine to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show this spring. I'm a current undergraduate student studying at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm still unsure of what exactly I want to pursue in sports journalism. However, I hope to learn and advance my knowledge under the Varsity Sports Show and create great memories with you. Let's make this a great year and let's strive for greatness.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
KDUS AM 1060 is the home to the Dan Patrick Show, the Doug Gottlieb Show, and Sports Map Radio. Catch all the sports content here on AM 1060.
We're already at the end scenes of the radio show, the 9:30 mark, but that doesn't mean we're done just yet. Joining us live from Marco de Niza High School is none other than the head coach for baseball at Marco de Niza, Coach Matt Courtney. Good morning, Coach. How are you feeling today?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Obviously, we were talking a little bit earlier in the show how the hard part about getting coaches on the show is just to contact them. Some of them, they have really busy schedules and aren't able to make it. So obviously having you on the show is a great privilege of ours. And we thank you, especially since we're here at Marco de Niza High School trying to represent well. And we're going to get right into these questions, Coach. And I want to just go into it. This season had its ups and some downs, Coach. So what are some takeaways that you can give us for the season?
We started off the season really well. We started off 8-0. Things have gone really well. Played some good baseball, some good team baseball. Obviously, we're in section play now. Our section, like Joe said right before, probably one of the toughest sections, top to bottom, in the state. So coming in and battling those games and sneaking a few out, that's the plan.
Yeah, and Coach Courtney, you talked about, strong start for your team early on, and then, as the second half of the season's come on, you guys have had your own struggles. What is going to kind of be the key, with the season almost ending, to get back to that momentum that you guys had in the beginning of the season and carrying on to finishing strong for the last couple games?
It's putting all three things together. We were talking about yesterday after the game. Boys were still up. We battled. We had some good innings, had some down innings, but it's putting all three aspects together. We got to be offensively sound, defensively sound, and we got to be sound on the mound. Put all those things together, we're a dangerous baseball team.
Absolutely, Coach. I like that you mentioned that you're a dangerous baseball team. That's a great adjective to perspective. And we're heading into the final stretches. We have 3 games left into the season, and I'm sure your team is fighting for that playoff spot. What is the game plan heading into these final games?
Battle. I mean, we got to come out every day. We're playing 2 of the top teams in the state with Mesquite and 2 with Mesquite and another one with Saguaro, and then we got a Green Wing game in between that. So we got to be out there and be ready to go every day and do their jobs and do our jobs and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you talked about, Saguaro, you guys are going to be seeing Monday. We talked with Coach Mickey about that too, his game plan. What is kind of your game plan? It was a tough loss yesterday, but, what do you take away from that game and then actually apply to Monday's game, and what do you change?
The boys were very positive yesterday. It was awesome to see. They saw what they could do against a really good baseball team. We had 2 of the 3 things put together. We just needed to put some defense together. We're going to have a really good arm on the mound on Monday, and we'll go to work and see what happens.
Absolutely, Coach. Bringing up the mound. The pitching is obviously like the most important, critical game aspect of baseball. And, we're going to bring up more into the personal side. So, being a head coach for a great program at Marco Deniza High School, what are some advice that you could tell upcoming players that want to have a good career in baseball?
For me, this is my world. I grew up here. I went to school here. So this is my community. It's kind of what we teach them is it's bigger than baseball. Learn the things on the field to be able to put those to your life afterward. Baseball's a game of failures. You're 3 out of 10 and you're successful. So taking that aspect and going and being able to run with that and take those positives and be able to bounce that back off of those negatives.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about, when it comes to, especially a tough game like yesterday, you can't dwell on the negatives. I always like to think of, you have to remember them, but you have to keep them in the back of your mind, as you, keep progressing, because if you keep dwelling on them, it's just going to keep it. The result's probably not going to be as great as it should be. Within, the mindset that, your team has and everything, where do you think that stems from as to how they got to that mindset of, we're going to remember, yes, it hurts, but we're going to keep pushing kind of rather than just staying, dwelling, and, beating themselves up?
It's a constant thing we tell them. Like Joe said, it's a game. You got to have fun. If you're not out there having fun, then why are you out there? After the game, the boys had already put it behind and were ready to go for Monday. They were ready to play a second game last night. So I think the mentality is going to be good. We're going to be set to go, and we'll see what happens.
And, Coach, baseball's a big sport in your family, isn't it?
It is.
It is, right? And we got a special guest here on the show as well, not just you. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, special guest?
My name is Jackson. I am the bat boy for Marco Deniza, and I have been playing baseball my entire life.
And who's your dad?
Matt Courtney.
And do you have a question you want to ask your dad? What question, young journalist, do you want to ask your father?
It could be any question.
No, your allowance isn't going up.
I don't know.
In that case, I'll help you out, all right? Let's say 10 years from now, what do you would like to see your kid in?
I want him to do what he wants to do, and it'd be super cool for him to come play for me. That's a goal for me. But it's his deal. Whatever he wants to do, we're going to support him and that. And so he's got 2 little sisters at home that are playing baseball and looking up to him too. So
excuse me, Sabrina, not to mention that he's also playing the catcher position, and obviously playing the catcher position is arguably potentially one of the hardest positions to play because you're always on your knees. You're always got to be aware of the ball, and the ball always goes to you. is always the pitcher to catcher, always 1-2, 0-1, always to you. So obviously big accomplishment for you for playing a really high position game there.
What's the biggest piece of advice your dad has given to you, like while you've been playing baseball?
To have fun.
To have fun. It's always the big motive with playing baseball. And Coach, obviously, is that the same motive that you like to go with your kids as well over here at Marco Deniza? Always telling them to have fun, trying to keep it competitive, or like what's that motive you want their kids to always have?
They hear me say a lot, smile.
Smile.
When they're smiling, they're not thinking about things. They're just going out there and doing what they've been taught to do and what they've practiced and that. So a lot of the pressure situations, it's, guys, just smile. Just stop thinking about it. Go do what you know how to do and go have fun with it.
Absolutely, Coach. And I didn't get to ask this question to the other baseball coaches, but we have plenty of time here. And I want to ask you, is your team like? I haven't really studied much about your roster, but how many seniors are in your roster? And thinking about in the future, I'm not sure you even considered the future just yet. How bad once they graduate and once they move on in life, how much your team's going to be rebuilding in that aspect?
We have 9 seniors this year. All guys. All except one that have been in the program for all 4 years. One of them transferred after his sophomore year to us. But our lower levels, there's so much talent. Those guys are always working. Younger guys. We've had a couple of freshmen that have been up with us with the tournaments, and we got a couple of freshmen on JV. Not because we need it, it's because they earned it. Those guys bust their butts every day and do their jobs and that. So yeah, future's bright for us. We're gonna be that dangerous team for a while.
The ceiling's only the limit for Marco Deniza baseball program here. Coach Courtney, first let me thank you for being here with us here with the Varsity Sports Show.
Thank you, guys.
It's always
Appreciate
a blast to have you on. And in case you ever want to come up again, I'll always reach out to you to get you some insight. Obviously, a great person in there. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much as well, Kit. Thank you.
And you might have a future in sports journalism, honestly.
The sky's the limit for you as well, young man. And don't go anywhere, everyone. We're going to be having some quick segments here. We have the Tempe Sports Report by Hannah Pettiferry coming right up. Aaron, take it away.
Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. My name is Hannah Pettiferry, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show segment of the Tempe Sports Report. The Tempe Sports Report is sponsored by Angry Crab Shack of Tempe, located near the I-10 and Warner Road. For the Tempe Sports Report for this week, I had the opportunity to talk to Mountain Point student Jaden Davis. Jaden is committed to Arizona State University for track and field and just recently broke a record. And you can listen to more about that in this interview right now. Jaden, you recently just broke the state record in the 400 running 46.45 seconds. What was going on in your head when you found that out?
For me, it was kind of a surreal moment. I didn't really understand what had just happened. That has been my goal for a very long time. So when my coaches came running out to tell me that I just broken the state record, it was almost like I couldn't believe it until a couple hours, and it finally all hit me of what I really just did. So I was really grateful to have ran it at Arcadia. So it was a huge moment for me. Really happy for the whole day after that.
You had offers from both Arizona State and University of Arizona. What influenced your decision to go to ASU over U of A?
It would have to be when I took my official visit and I saw the campus of ASU, and they explained to me the academics and all of that. I really just loved it there overall. And then meeting with the track team, since ASU has a very, I'd say, elite track team with some of the best athletes. I had a great time getting to talk with them. And Coach Miller, being able to train under him, I can learn a lot from him. So there was just so much great things about ASU, and being able to stay in state was a really good bonus for me.
What does a typical practice look for you, whether that's after school or you practicing on your own?
After school practices are me really getting locked in during stretches and drills, getting ready if we have a hard workout or easy workout. It's also fun being with all my teammates and friends. We make practice fun, but yet we're all still competitive and try to, compete and, out-sprint one another. So it's a good balance between, competition and, having fun, joking around.
And then one last question. If you could tell your younger self anything that involves sports, track, pretty much anything, what would you say to yourself?
I would just tell them to be patient and keep grinding, because your time, is definitely going to come. And if you're not getting the results you want now, just keep pushing and pushing, because you never know what God has in store for you. So that's what I want to tell them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Once again, that was Jaden Davis, who is committed to Arizona State University for track and field. Well, folks, that's all I have for the Tempe Sports Report for this week. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week on the Varsity Sports Show. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and this is Hannah signing off.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. The sun is blazing now over here at Margot Deniza High School. And I'm here joined in by my favorite persons in the world, Vince Delicio and Sabrina Giles. Obviously here we're at the final end of the Varsity Radio Show here, as we have a special person taking a picture of us currently. Thank you so much.
It's not that hot, Sebastian. Come on. You grew up in Phoenix. I don't even think it's 80 degrees.
But I said the sun is blazing, so the sun is coming
blazing.
down.
Okay,
so.
I got you.
Sabrina, what's been going on so far? Now we're here reaching the conclusion of the radio show.
We've had a lot of guests. Almost 2 hours has gone by so fast, so many twists and turns. But, that's the name of the game when it comes to radio. And
Absolutely.
I think we did a great job, Vince and Sebastian, with this whole show.
I think you guys have done an amazing job managing everything, transitioning, handling the guests and running those interviews. We've had a lot of great content today, and I'm really proud of the progress that you guys have made this year. When we come back from the break, we are actually, Sebastian, this is yours. Sebastian, you had a little project this season called the Arizona High School Highlights. I won't tell you, I won't ask you what it's about, but you guys will just have to listen after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Stick around. We'll be
Varsity.
back.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey everyone, my name is Eric Castellan, and thank you for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show. I am currently a senior at Arizona State University, attending the Walter Cronkite School of Mass Communications and Journalism. I'm originally from California, but I moved to Arizona because of all the sports that are available out here, and I can't wait to bring you all the high school sports that we cover, whether you're listening or watching. Stay tuned.
Interact with Bob Kemp's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kemp's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
Good morning, Arizona. Welcome to the segment presented by the Varsity Sports Show that features high school highlights from the Valley. Sebastian has some special news for you. Let's see what's in store today. Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of AZ High School Highlights from the Valley. Today we are here for a treat as we have more boys in volleyball and baseball to highlight. For boys volleyball we have number 1 ranked Highland against number 2 Perry, and for boys baseball we have number 9 ranked Mountain View against Westwood. Here we go. Tuesday's night 6A boys volleyball showdown between Highland ranked 1st and Perry ranked 2nd was eagerly anticipated. With the regular season almost halfway over, both schools had flawless records in power ranking contests. Highland though, triumphant, taking the match in just 4 sets. The offense of Highland had 3-prong approach. Jaron Brown, Sam Walker, and Jace Adams, all seniors, contributed for a total of 38 kills. Highland record in games with the power ranking is now 11-0. With the perfect record, the Hawks topped the 6A Central region. Perry, which is in first place in the 6A Premier region, fell to 10-1 and had its 9-match winning run broken. These 9 victories were all 3-0 routes. In region play, the Pumas are unbeaten. And now for some baseball. Mountain View excelled at fabricating erroneous numbers in this case. The 7th inning was the third of the 3 frames with multiple runs. The Toros scored 4 times in the second to grab a 4-1 lead as they batted around and collected 11 hits. They had 4 singles, 2 walks, and a wild pitch and a pass ball all to their advantage. Terranova and Bailey Viscardi both drove in a 1 run apiece. Terranova finished the game with 4 RBIs. 5 innings later, the score was 6-3 after 2 runs were scored on a single, an infield error, a walk, and a wild pitch. Westwood fought back to square the score 6 in the top of the 7th. Mountain View needed a change in the tide. Only that was given to the Toros, who scored 4 runs in the 7th, the first on the pass ball and the other 3 on a Joe Terranova home drive to left. After returning Westwood in the order at the bottom of the inning, Mountain View prevailed 10-6. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
It's time for the Sun Devil Report with Eric Castellon, bringing you all the latest sports news around Arizona State University. Good morning and welcome to the Sun Devil Report. I'm your host Eric Castellon, and we had a lot happen last week and a lot that's going to take place this week, so let's jump right in. One of the most anticipated events of the spring here at ASU is the annual spring football game, along with the combination of the annual Pats Run. Both of these events represent a huge hosting period for Sun Devil athletics, and both are taking place today in Tempe. Pat's Run is a 4.2-mile marathon put together by the Pat Tillman Foundation that commemorates and remembers the life and legacy of former Sun Devil Pat Tillman. Immediately following the marathon, the much-anticipated spring football game will take place, and it's the first chance for students and fans to see what the 2023 team looks like in a maroon versus gold scrimmage, and hopes and maybe even attendance will be high. Moving on to the Diamonds, Sun Devil Baseball has reached their peak of the season so far after a very successful week saw them enter the national polls for the first time in the Willie Bloomquist era, sitting at 24th overall. It started on Tuesday with an 11-6 win over Seattle University, and then another Pac-12 series sweep at home, with Washington State being the victim this time around. From Friday to Sunday, the Devils won 6-5, 6-2, and 4-1, with a real team effort being displayed all week. Even with a great group performance, one Devil stood out above the rest as sophomore catcher Ryan Campos was just named the Pac-12 Player of the Week for his performance during the aforementioned 4 games. He's the third Sun Devil to receive the honor, with no other Pac-12 school having more than 1. This week alone, he batted .500 with 3 extra base hits and 6 runs scored, and now he's put the entire conference and the nation on notice. His .419 batting average ranks 2nd in the Pac-12 and 23rd in the country, and as a result, Campos earned a spot on the Golden Spikes Award mid-season watch list. ASU is 23-9 overall and 10-2 in Pac-12 play, and up next for Campos and the Red Hot Sun Devils is a crosstown trip to take on GCU before heading to Seattle for a Pac-12 weekend series with the Washington Huskies. That's all the time I have for you this week. I'm Eric Castellon, and make sure to tune in next week to the Sun Devil Report on the Varsity Sports Radio Show.
Tighten up with Thunderbird Titans Baseball on Varsity Sports Show AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And now, here's Titans coach Mike Jacobs.
I apologize about that. Welcome back. We are here into the conclusion. I'm getting a little too antsy here in the conclusion, so I apologize. We're here with Mike Jacobs. Hello, Mike Jacobs. I hope you woke up really well.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, we had a long trip back from Yuma last night, but it was a much enjoyable trip because we got a W, so it's much better.
Absolutely. Coach, thank you so much for coming on at a late notice. Last night you had a long trip back. And so now we're just going to ask you these questions and get it going here. So my question to you is, my stats are running correct, Coach? And if you can fix it if I'm wrong, but you guys are running on a 7-game win streak right now. Tell us, what are you telling your players and how has the morale been with the team?
Morale's been great. Yesterday, I think we just continued our energy. The dugout did a fantastic job. A 3-hour bus ride keep guys a little lethargic, but they were prepared, they were ready, and we've just been playing good baseball. You know, each game is a new game, and we're trying to take one thing at a time, win every single inning, and it's been paying off really well. We're peaking at the right time.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about it, Coach. You know, what's been some of that key to that success, you know, that you've had all season? In the beginning, kind of, it started off a little bit slower for you guys, but you guys have had an amazing second half of your season and even ended the first half of your season. So what's kind of been the key to that whole process?
I think consistency with our practice plans. We have a lot of our guys are healthy now, 5 seniors that are starting every single game. So we're seeing a lot of that leadership that's really paying off and kind of surrounding and supporting some of those younger sophomores that we have. But I think just that consistency. We have our battery behind the dish, Caden Coos, Noah Anderson, and Sid Benson have been great on the mound. Logan Schminke's been phenomenal. So we've just been really solid as far as that with our consistency.
You know, now we're heading into the last couple games here for the rest of the season, Coach. You know, what is the mindset now, you know, focusing perhaps on playoff games? So what's the mindset within you and the team?
Just to kind of, I think, have that playoff mentality with the intensity that we want to bring to each game. We've been playing well. The goal is to always win region, and with the region win, you get an automatic home playoff play-in game. So that's always something that we're shooting for, and we're sitting in a good position now that we can pick up a win on Monday and then pick up another win Wednesday. I think we've secured our region title.
Coach Jacobs, thank you so much. Get some rest. You know, that long drive from Yuma. Get some rest before you have to, you know, face them again, luckily at Thunderbird on Monday. But we do
absolutely.
appreciate, you know, the time.
Thank you guys so much. I always appreciate the time, and have a good rest of your afternoon.
I do have to say to Coach Jacobs here while you're still on the phone, you know, Blake Benson pointed out, he's one of your parents out there at Thunderbird, he pointed out that when we broadcast your games, you guys are undefeated. I don't know if you realize that or not.
Yeah,
Coach.
Absolutely. I think that's been a good thing. It definitely gives another a bit
There you
of
go.
feel for the yard.
Cool.
And, you guys are like our good luck charm.
There you go. All right. Thanks again, Coach Jacobs with Thunderbird Titans baseball. Okay, so transitioning, I want to bring back Melanie from the Phoenix Indian Center. Melanie, talk real quickly here. We've got about a minute. If you can talk to us a little bit about some of the youth programming going on.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, again, the Phoenix Indian Center is a nonprofit, but our youth program focuses on college and career readiness types of programs for high school-aged youth. So one of our big things that's going to be coming up this summer is actually a paid internship program that we do called Youth to Work. High school freshmen through seniors can take the job readiness training, which is a 2-day, kind of not too intense, but it's about 6 hours each day training. They get a certificate, and that gives them all the information they need to know about getting their foot in the door for a first career. And then those that are juniors and seniors can transition into paid internships. Our program sets up the youth in a field of their interest with businesses around Maricopa that we vet, and my program will actually pay them to do the internship. So it's a paid internship.
Sounds like you've got some budding broadcasters and producers in the making there in media that we can maybe poach to our show this summer to do some internships.
That would be fantastic. We would love that, and I'm sure they would too.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Melanie. Phoenix Indian Center. How can people find out more information or reach you directly?
Sure. So we do have a Facebook page for the Phoenix Indian Center. We're also on Instagram. Our youth program has a Instagram page as well. We're on Twitter, so please follow our socials or just go to our website.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Melanie.
Thank you so much,
okay.
Melanie.
Guys, another amazing show. And before we transition, I just wanted to point out, you guys did an amazing job. Sebastian, nice job this morning. Sabrina, great job this morning out here at the Indigenous Football Camp out at Marcos Denisa High School in Tempe. A lot of great content, a lot of great guests. And actually, real quickly, guys, what was your feeling? Sebastian, how did you feel about today?
Absolutely. You know, very, very dramatic because this is my last time on the show. So obviously, got to let go of something that I really like and being on the show. So obviously pretty sad, but obviously a privilege, honor to be here, Vince. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like a bittersweet moment because it's like you know that it's your last time on the show.
Yep.
But it's such an amazing opportunity and such an amazing experience. And honestly, Vince, you kind of don't get the credit enough. Thank you so much for even giving this opportunity
absolutely.
to allow
Thanks,
this because
it's
such a fun thing to do, honestly.
Yeah,
it seems scary at first, but it's actually really amazing.
It's fun. It's fun. A lot goes in, as you guys have seen behind the scenes. But real quickly, go in studio, and our old friends Ed Smith, Javon Adams, my brother, Coach Smith. Coach, what do you got coming up on Easy Sports at 10?
Hey, Coach, great show as always on your end. We got a loaded show, everything from NBA playoffs to Suns, Diamondbacks. We've got Max Rossiter joining us at the top of the hour at 11 to talk ASU baseball, and a lot of great topics, man. So just a loaded show for us today.
Is Javon there with you?
Yes, he is. He's right here with me, man.
Oh, man. Oh, I feel the soul coming on right now. So, anyway. All right. Don't get rid of him, Coach. He's a good one.
We appreciate you. And, hey, always great listening to you, man. You do a great job with all your interns and all the help, man. You guys do a great job.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Ed Smith. You know, what is the names Ed Smith, Bo Jackson, and Deion Sanders and Michael Jordan have in common?
They're all greats.
Well, they are all greats, but they're all both professional two-sport athletes.
Oh,
yes. Okay.
All
right. So easy.
It is, right?
Yeah, Easy Sports coming up right after our show, 10 to 12. Great show. It's where I cut my teeth, got my start, and I'm grateful forever to my brother Ed Smith. So, anyway, guys, another amazing show. Thanks so much for joining us, for tuning in. Sabrina, take us out.
Yeah, like Vince said, thank you so much for listening. Follow us at Varsity Sports Show to stay up to date on all of our broadcasts and content. Next up, join Coach Ed Smith and Javon Adams with Easy Sports Radio show from 10 to 12. Thank you to our producer in the studio, Aaron Decker, and thanks for you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. See you guys next week.
Go Varsity.
Go Varsity.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.